These images show a Ukrainian drone raining down bombs on Russian soldiers cowering in trenches. The footage, filmed from the Ukrainian drone, begins by showing a Russian soldier hidden under a tree. He can be seen leaving the cover of the tree before being engulfed in an explosion after the drone apparently dropped a bomb on him. He can then be seen writhing in pain, visibly injured, while two of his colleagues writhe around on the ground as well. Another soldier can also be seen running away. The soldiers are then joined by another soldier, who appears to be trying to help them. The images were obtained from the Office of Strategic Communications, STRATCOM, along with a statement saying, "A 2-minute story about the migration of Katsap worms." Katsap is a derogatory Ukrainian term for a Russian. Winter has fallen over Ukraine as the war is approaching its 10th month. For the Ukrainians, the snow and ice bring opportunities for more attacks, whereas for the Russians, the winter offers much-needed respite for a war gone horribly wrong. The Ukrainian military looks at the winter with promise. The hardening of the snow as the temperatures fall makes the battlefield ideal for offensive maneuvers for a well-equipped military. It is the force with inadequate winter gear that will suffer the most. But the Ukrainians are equipped and ready. The Ukrainian military has shown that it is committed to its ongoing counteroffensive. Even in November, when the last rains of the fall gave room to the early snows of the winter and the ground became a sea of mud, the Ukrainians continued to attack. The hard freeze of the ground that usually comes in the last days of the year in Ukraine will only make the conditions easier for a Ukrainian military that is supported with gear by the US and the West. Weather conditions in winter 2023 likely will dictate a time frame in which Ukraine can conduct maneuver warfare and continue its string of operational successes with minimal pauses that would increase the risks of Ukraine losing the initiative, the Institute for the Study of War assessed in one of its recent estimates of the war. A DC-based think tank, the Institute for the Study of War has emerged as an authoritative analyst of a war in Ukraine. The Ukrainian commanders know that the spring will bring the notorious Rasputitsa mud season, which will hinder any large-scale offensive operation. So, winter is the only time that the Ukrainians can really push at the Russians before summer. On the other side, the Russian forces are digging in all across Ukraine and hope to last the winter without any other major losses. Meanwhile, things aren't going well for the Russian forces on the ground. Rain, mud, sun, or snow, the Russian military continues to suffer extremely heavy casualties on the battlefield. In November alone, the Russian forces lost approximately 15,000 men killed, according to official Ukrainian estimates. To be sure, there's some discrepancy between the Ukrainian and Western assessments of Russian casualties, but independently verified visual footage indicates large numbers of Russian casualties. The Ukrainians have been using innovative methods to keep their adversaries constantly on edge. Small commercial drones have been especially prevalent on the Ukrainian side. The Ukrainian forces will attach small 60mm mortar rounds on the drones, hover over the Russian positions, and drop the munitions on the unsuspecting Russian troops, who are resisting in their trenches. In one instance, a couple of Russian soldiers on the front lines in Bakhmut caught fire after a Ukrainian drone attacked and ignited ammunition on the ground. Although the 60mm mortar round can only kill the target or wound someone in the immediate vicinity, the constant fear of attack is taking a toll on Russian morale. Meanwhile, Russian President Vladimir Putin's regime is working to expand and modernize its nuclear arsenal, U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin said, as fears continue to circulate about a potential nuclear conflict with Russia. Speaking at a ceremony on Friday, Austin noted that as Russia continues its months-long war against Ukraine, the whole world has seen Putin engage in deeply irresponsible nuclear saber-rattling, according to Reuters. Putin suggested during a televised address in September that Russia could respond to alleged nuclear blackmail from the West with his country's own weapons. Those who are trying to blackmail us with nuclear weapons should know that the winds can also turn in their direction, Putin said. Russia's nuclear expansion would inflate an already massive stockpile of nuclear weapons. According to the Federation of American Scientists, Russia already owns the largest inventory of nuclear weapons in the world.
Да, противник пытается достать, но работаем быстро, эффективно, выдвигаемся на позицию, занимаем, отрабатываем по цели и маневренно уходим в район сосредоточения. Под обстрелы попадали, да, но опять же маневрированием, скрытым перемещением, быстрым передвижением уходим. Слава Богу. Установка очень проходимая, система надежная, Урал-4320, полноприводная, трехмостовая, препятствий для нас пока нет.
Ракета по цели, огонь.
Внимание, пуск!
Десять мин, беглым!
10 мин делаем!
Цель 101, КНП противника, прицел 6,50. Основное направление правее 0,40.